All right, we're back. So this is weird, and this actually played for 2 hours. We only got 21 minutes on stream. Yeah, and it just did it again, where it stopped out of nowhere, and I don't know why it did that. So I'm gonna have the thing playing again. That way, if it does it again, I can see. That's so weird. Well, that is not exactly. What is it? Did something happen? So maybe I mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few weeks after that. Well, passed out, unconscious, you might say. What happened? Oh, nothing much. Kind of silly, really, but there was a sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more than a little. But I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day, and there y'all were, clanking down that ladder. I see. So you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that. Not per se, but, well, after the auction was over, all the masks were back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one like they were supposed to. Nurse Needler, once the auction restarted, what exactly were you doing? I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the closed box as I had been instructed. It had a dead body inside, after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it. We would have been in real trouble then. So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime. No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead. And that was Kay. Kay. Yeah, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Why do I keep saying unconscious? Unconscious. Alright. Guess the murder victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh? That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless right in front of her. Right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that done knocked me out for so long, though. So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've all got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue? Sure, so I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringer, and I put them both in the clothes box. We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo. Was that your idea or the ringleader's? But putting the ring coat on Miss Ringer was my own idea, so I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done. Hey, I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case. And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared. Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything, and that was that. Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ouch! You're dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you? That's where you draw the line, so taking her clothes was okay? Our hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box. 2 wigs, but why? Right? I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on that day, leaving a wavy wig in the box. And that's everything you know. There's nothing else you're forgetting. No, huh? Grandma, really, that's everything. And I take it that you really have no idea who the ringleader might be. Sorry, I only know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on. and they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. If I can't get something concrete on them. Oh, ho 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 ho! Well, Miles, are we about done? You've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot, but sadly for you it doesn't change a whole lot, because there's nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader. And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake.
She just said Kay was on the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, like what, she did all this, and then she fainted? And somehow, like, if I were Needler, I'd be like, oh. Yeah. Francisca, what are you doing here? As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor. I understand that. You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information. For his subordinate being Gumshoe? That's Gumshoe. Yeah. Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Well, someone say something. Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves. You what? Yes, just a few minutes ago! Well, why didn't you say so sooner? You didn't exactly give us a chance. And I suppose you know about the murder weapon, too? No, not yet. Ha, good, then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface, and the wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem. Circular surface, so I know what that is. And you're certain of that, I assume. Your sources are above board. 2 trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more. That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. This murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to the related parties. My, you've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear? Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Sadly, the murder weapon itself is yet to be identified. Yeah, based on the shape, I might have an idea or two. But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation. And yet, one only need think about the setting and an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. Oh, they're saying it was...
Hammer.
Yeah, so the auctioneer's hammer. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course. But we never found one of those. If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem like a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. This piece of evidence strongly suggests that the auctioneer's hammer was the murder weapon. See, I was actually thinking it had something to do with this. So the horn. Apparently it doesn't. I know it's missing one, which I guess has to be relevant at some point, maybe? There it is.
Take that!
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now why would that be? I'll tell you why, because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right, Chairman Winner? I'll have our people look into this right away. Oh, ho, 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 ho. You really are like a big dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? But if you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young, when can you, hmm? He seems very confident we'll never find it. Very well, a search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess.
Probably got like 15 minutes. So 10 minutes.
Alright, well, we'll do 10, 15 more minutes.
Everybody's in disbelief.
Yeah, everybody's like, yo. Well, except Winner. Eustace is just like, what's going on? Well, actually, no, he and Lotta and Gavel and Needler just kind of silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. Arg. That is bad news indeed. Then we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict. Ah, such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind. No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own. Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trusted me with every detail of the crimes. And then when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Ho ho, ho ho ho. Oh, if only you could see them. Stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces. The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law. There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both... If only we had some proof. I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances. The end of the road, huh? By the power vested in me, Celsius Winter, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes. What? Huh? What on earth's gotten into you, Verity? I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident, namely the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago. What does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late-night visit to this chamber, that was to... Precisely, I came here to retrieve these documents, though sadly it would seem that I arrived too early. To catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me, that was a ruse to buy myself more time. What the heck are you doing, Gavel? You can't just accuse my dad. Without proper grounds, it's deformation. Deformation?
It's definitely.
Yeah, I thought so. An excellent observation, Eustace. Oh, it is? And of course I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karmer had some details about the victim's body fabricated. Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing. My papa fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? Yeah, isn't the fact that he's a murderer a little bit worse?
Your daddy killed Edgy's daddy?
Yeah. I think after that, I'd be like, oh, he fabricated evidence too? Just stands to reason. You know? Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. Von Karma, and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs. What? What? This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power, and they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident. What? She was responsible for the fake report. Wait, you have to understand, Grandma, she's not a bad person. She had to do what he said, she didn't have any choice. He? The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time. Chief prosecutor 18 years ago. Man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career. Celsius winner, it was you.
Objection!
What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that. I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself? All the nonsense with the body, that was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. The fake autopsy report? Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
You could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there, you know. Wait, Grandma can't. She's... Ouch! Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everyone would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with their plan. They said he would, I just have to do what the auctioneer said. So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? Just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner. I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer. And they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face. Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do. Oh, wait. Their masks didn't cover their whole face. And the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure. A tattoo?
Objection!
All this sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader no matter how much you might want me to be. I only hope you can figure out who this shameless manipulator might be. Oh ho ho ho, ho ho ho.
Overruled!
Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here? I am not the only one who has been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer had been trying too. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain. Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say. But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye. You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that is a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record. So that's how it's going to go. You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. So let's make the most of this opportunity. Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer. Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever, and I have absolutely no idea why she was after me. So you don't mean to accept your part in any of this? Of course he doesn't. He isn't guilty. How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners. That's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me. Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. I believe in you, Dad. You'll beat Edgeworth. I know you will. Yes, you really are such a sweet, simple child. He really loves his dad, huh? But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him. Regardless of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time. This won't be easy on Mr. Winner. But it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this. Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. Yes.
Hold it!
I feel like we really gotta press him on this. As a member of the committee, you must at least have been familiar with her face. Sure, but that's about all. I saw her every once in a while.
Hold
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all? That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy, yes. Why, I never even knew about that burn mark on her hand. You didn't? I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone.
Says something.
Yes. But we haven't proven that that's his voice, even though we're pretty sure it is. I still don't get why there was a recording device in that thing. I hope they explained that, because they just need a simple explanation. Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remarks about the victim's burn to the testimony, you're your chairman winner. I wonder, though, it's not...
Objection!
Yeah, we haven't proven that's his voice, so that was a little silly.
Hold it!
You're sure you didn't know about the burn mark? You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar in their hand and who doesn't. But this wasn't just any old scar, I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves. It makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize, being something of a sensitive soul myself. I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony. Yeah, but this... she's not wearing gloves. The gloves are in... there. And she's not wearing them in the picture?
Objection!
She's not wearing it in the other picture either.
Objection!
Okay, maybe I need to just start pressing him a lot and just stop doing this.
Hold it!
So you remember her always wearing gloves. I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement. Does your little friend there have something to hide under all those bandages, I wonder? Who, me? No, I don't have anything to hide. You don't? Not even the stony visage of a cold-blooded murderer?
Objection!
If anyone here is hiding such a thing, it's you. And I'll expose your true face if it's the last thing I do. Ho 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 ho. You never fail to entertain, my boy. Go ahead and do your worst. So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. That reminds me of something. I should look over the evidence again. So there's got to be some kind of evidence that proves something. So I tried this, and even though it didn't show her with gloves, that didn't work. Worn by the victim whose fingerprints and blood were found on the hood.
Objection!
Fingerprints? What? How do all these not work? So, This showing her with no gloves didn't work. It says gloves in it?
Objection!
I am like...
Maybe we can stop doing
think on it? I feel like we need to get this and then we can stop. I think that would make more sense.
Hold it!
You never had any trouble with her professionally. Oh ho ho, don't be so silly, my boy. I'm far too important these days for such trivialities. By all accounts, her work was unimpeachable. Besides, our difference in standing meant we hardly ever interacted. That doesn't prove you didn't kill her, does it? Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Anything to save your little friend. It certainly seems that Miss Ringer had some personal interest in you, at least. Indeed, indeed, but I can't for the life of me imagine why. Too bad, so sad. Without a motive, you can't logic your way into pinning this on me.
Hold it!
Yeah, absolutely.
No idea why she was after you. After him. Let's see now. It's because Dad's a real catch. I suppose you could say that, yes. The admirers, they come, and they go again.
Maybe it's Sasquatch.
Yeah. I guess it's a big Sasquatch.
It's the Sasquatch. You even got like the out like glasses. He didn't get snowblind.
He is. Very true. I know many ordinary people could quite match his achievements. It's remarkable, really, to have so many people come into a life and then so many leave it. I certainly wouldn't complain if you chose to leave, Verity, my dear. I think it's far more likely that you'll be the one leaving today in handcuffs. Yes, yes, very droll, but if you think I'm finished, you will be sorely disappointed. Hehehe. I have to think back over what we know about the victim. If you're not sure how to approach this, take another look at the evidence. You might just find a new way to interpret old information. Are you trying to help me, Francisca? I'm trying to help Kay Faraday. I couldn't care less about you. Nice to see she's really worried for Kay, in her own Francisca sort of way. So... what if Kay was killed? I'm so confused why this would be a one. What?
Why would she always be looking black?
Yeah, but I just showed that the red raincoat had her fingerprints on it. And I just presented these two pictures that showed her without gloves. So I'm really confused. Thing is that the person here knew about the burn.
Objection!
There we go. So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question and highlights quite a contradiction. A contradiction, you say, really? If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by the stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean. You can't hide that burn from me. We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assumed that those were the words of the killer. And what's the problem in that? It seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me. Hey, I'm afraid not, Chairman Winter. For you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves and you just testified, the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection!
Speaking of gloves can't easily be removed, she could have taken them off during the auction. That's... But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. She must have... So they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered, too. What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you? I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winter, you dang devil. I see, so you're both looking to disappear, too. That can be arranged. Wow! Not this time, Excelsius Winter. The only person disappearing will be you. Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that! Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter? Oh, it matters. Because it turns our understanding of the burn mark on its head. Whoa, what do you mean? What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered possibly tell us? The murderer had a burn mark too. The murderer had a burn mark too. Think about it like this, Mr. Winter. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording? Somebody who wasn't the victim? Precisely, which could only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim. No way.
Objection!
Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Well, it makes sense. He's always with the fire. So, you see that way that would make sense?
Pyromaniac.
He's a pyromaniac, so he probably burns himself sometimes. Alright, I think this is a good stopping point. Alright, next time we're gonna get him.